Ladies and gentlemen, according to the latest news, recent reports in the New York Post and other publications, so CNN, federal investigation of Hunter reaches critical juncture. Fox News, Hunter Biden probe reaches critical stage as officials weigh possible charges. New York Post, officials weigh possible Hunter charges as probe reaches critical stage. Now, if you have read the emails that have been published thus far, that nobody now disputes as being fabricated or a plot by another country to let you know how horrible Democrats are. That's what they mean when they say interference or meddling. What they really mean is, the electorate found out how corrupt Democrats are, and it must be a diabolical plot by another country to notify you. Anyway, they never have any evidence other than a hunch or a high to moderate confidence assessment. But anyway, the Mueller probe didn't indict or charge anyone or prosecute anyone for conspiring alongside a foreign intelligence official to collude or interfere or meddle in 2016. But anyway, if you've read the emails published in the New York Post and the Daily Mail, if you've actually read those emails, then you know that Hunter has committed crimes. You know that within the emails and videos and text messages and pictures and voicemails from Joe. Our president, our beloved president, Mashed Potato Brains, has a voicemail where he admits he knows everything about Hunter's business dealings. And so he even tells Hunter, you're in the clear. I read the New York Times article. So obviously the New York Times is an extension of the Democratic Party. So is Jimmy Kimmel and BuzzFeed and Rolling Stone and the Washington Post and The Atlantic, Time Magazine, Esquire, Vanity Fair, The New Yorker, New York Magazine. Have you ever asked, really quickly, like a wonderful, morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrat? Actually, don't ask them because they'll just get into this frenzy and rage. But have you ever asked them why every single publication sides with the Democratic? Almost. Obviously, you have the Federalist, and read my article in the Federalist in October of 2021 predicting the stock market crash that we've seen this year and the terrible economy that we're experiencing. So please read that article. Hit subscribe also to the stock market crash and nuclear confrontation channel, and also the Bitcoin 10K oil prices 150 recession channel. And to my new Patreons, thank you, by the way. My Patreon is below in the description section. It'll be below in the pinned comment as well. Thank you to my new Patreons. I can't do this without you, ladies and gentlemen. Your Patreon support, if you enjoy my work, is greatly appreciated. Also, I'll probably have a live stream tonight at around 9 p.m. Pacific, so be here. But, so be here for the live stream at 9 p.m. Pacific. I'll probably have one. But you have an entire media apparatus going to bat for Democrats. You have social media algorithms. You have late-night talk shows. You have all of Hollywood. And the Democratic Party has every conceivable advantage, and Biden is almost at record lows. He's almost reached record low in terms of presidential approval rating. He has 36%, and I think President Trump reached 35%, something like that. But that was with all of media after him. And you can't remove approval rating from media hysteria over Trump and media propping up Biden. So imagine if media didn't have this allegiance and like loyalty to the Democratic Party. Imagine if they were just objective, and you didn't really know, like there weren't. Imagine if there weren't hit pieces in Rolling Stone and the Washington Post and the New York Times and the Atlantic and Vanity Fair and BuzzFeed and Vice against Trump And imagine if those publications also ran hit pieces on Biden or other Democrats. Because that used to be the case. They never used to be, like, completely in the tank for the Democratic Party. But anyway, if you've read the emails, which all of these publications, Twitter suppressed the story 2 years ago. We know what happened. It was the most egregious. I mean, there had to have been some type of law broken. They suppressed a legitimate story, and the New York Post and Daily Mail should have received, especially the New York Post should have received Pulitzer Prizes. But if you've read the emails, ladies and gentlemen, you know he committed crimes. How can you use your influence on the company's behalf? Then you have 150 suspicious financial transactions deemed suspicious by banks. And so you have money flowing into his bank account. You have him engaging in illegal activity left and right. And it's like the difference between me and, for example, these morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats who judge Trump. It's like, I'm not judging Hunter, although you should not. You should definitely not live his life. You could easily say it's immoral, but I'm not talking about the moral aspect. You don't live this man's life because it's going to come back to haunt you. If he didn't have the Secret Service and the president and the entire Democratic Party protecting him, that type of life leads to sorrow, and who knows? I mean, perhaps he's already dealt with a lot because of his decision making, but that type of life leads to prison or you being, God forbid, 6 feet under, because you cannot engage in narcotics. You can't consume that. You can't live that life. That is a very terrible, nasty life to live. And I'm not condemning or judging Hunter Biden. What I'm saying is, if he were anyone else, if he was Trump's son, the media, it would be required reading, by the way. Those emails showing clear violations of the law, how can you use your influence on the company's behalf? He gives 10% of his money to Joe. All of these, I mean, going after, Joe's wife. We can go on forever. Paying certain people for services, losing a 38 as Democrats pontificate about firearms. I mean, these people all have firearms. They're the biggest hypocrites on the planet, as do I, and you might also. If you probably do if you're watching. We have the Second Amendment. Believe me, Hunter and Joe and all these Democrats love the Second Amendment. They either own firearms or they have security details or they have the Secret Service. The lowly, citizen, according to Democrats, shouldn't have the ability to protect himself and his family. That's a whole other story. Okay? Notice how the madmen and the maniacs that commit all of these heinous atrocities, you will not get one condemnation, one judgment. They're more upset with Ted Cruz and, the average Republican than a person who commits these heinous atrocities. You'll never hear anything. Do you have anything to say, negative Democrats, about these people who are completely and utterly insane, who want to commit these mass atrocities? And the reason they don't say anything, by the way, is the same reason Hunter owns firearms, and his girlfriend threw his firearm in the dumpster. That's a whole other story. You can learn that in the emails or the text messages. But the reason that they don't say that is because then they'd have to admit evil exists. Human beings are evil, and there's criminals who don't abide by the law. And once Democrats admit that criminals don't abide by the law, it's game over for their argument, because then suddenly the legislation won't protect people. Suddenly, there's one type of person who doesn't abide by laws. Gee, what's that person called? Oh, criminal! That's right. Anyway, if you read, so getting 9 minutes to the point, finally, if you enjoy this channel, you understand my thought process, my zany way of, looking at the world. If you look at the emails, you'll see he committed crimes. Will he get indicted? I don't know. I'm not predicting anything. I wouldn't be surprised if he does, actually. Or I'd be somewhat surprised, but the odds are he doesn't, okay? The odds are he doesn't. it's taken me this long to kind of realize the odds are he doesn't, but impeachment and possible indictment will take place once a completely different attorney general in 2024, when hopefully Trump retakes the Oval Office, but you'll have endless investigations according to Politico. By James Comer in the House Oversight, by Jim Jordan in the House Judiciary, by the Senate Intel Committee, House Intel Committee. You will have the Senate Judiciary Committee. You'll have endless investigations, and you'll actually have crimes that will be investigated. You'll have endless investigations with actual crimes to be investigated. Okay, think about that for a second. They investigate Trump. They don't find anything. It's because he didn't commit a crime. Democrats use investigations as public relations tools. Where's the crime? Why isn't he indicted? Now, if they investigate Hunter, in the same way they investigated Hillary, he ain't gonna get charged. Okay? Democrats oftentimes use investigations as public relations tools. Well, we investigated, we couldn't find a crime. They didn't really investigate. But anyway, we'll see. Regardless of what takes place, you have the Durham Probe Special Counsel next trial. The Steele dossier subsource has 5 counts that he's facing. They'll get him on 1 count. So all the people say, oh, nothing's ever going to happen. It's like, look, you set up and frame Trump. Eventually, Trump is going to come back. Eventually, the long game, they can't stop Trump, okay? And they also can't cover up their crimes forever. And they also can't investigate Trump forever. At a certain point, they're going to have to indict the man. And then if they indict him, knowing very well he'd win a trial, any credibility they have left completely is obliterated. So either way, I mean, they can't stop him from running. And who is going to run against him? Mashed potato brains? I don't think so. Who? I think Hillary. Hillary Clinton should be the nominee. Nobody will be happier on this planet than I will, because I've been saying that for a long time. And I want to see every liberal YouTuber tell their viewers, every single far-left YouTuber tell their viewers to vote for Hillary Clinton. It would just bring me joy. I want to see that. I want to see that. And you might say, well, like if a person on the left hears that, oh, you're just trying to be malicious. No, I'm not. There's no malice there. What? In 2016, you said the best candidate, more impressive than Thomas Jefferson, all these things. So, okay, what's the problem? Objectively, she'd be better than Biden. Anyone would. But obviously, I'd vote for Trump 1,000,000 times over with that matchup. And obviously, I think Trump or DeSantis would defeat Clinton. Or any Democrat, actually. But we'll see. I think it's going to be Hillary. She should be the nominee. That would be fantastic. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. I will have a Durham Probe Special Counsel segment in about a couple of hours. Be here at like 1 p.m. Pacific, ladies and gentlemen. To my 13-minute crowd, be here at 1 p.m. Pacific. I will have a live stream. I should have a live stream tonight at around 9:30 p.m. So be here. And go to the Stock Market Crash channel and the Bitcoin Crash channel right now. Thank you.